Hi everyone, my name is Ravi Krishna Jemyaula and welcome to my channel Ravi Tech Talks. Please do subscribe to get notifications. Let us start our course Microsoft Azure IoT. Today we will discuss on create an Azure IoT hub. So as you can see, our IoT hub is an cloud IoT gateway. So it is mainly used in between the sensor and the devices and our other Azure cloud services. So as you can see in the image, the sensors and devices are located on on-prem network, and there are few sensors and devices which are located on public network. So all these are connecting to our IoT hub, and from the IoT hub, we are routing the messages to other Azure services like blob storage or stream analytics or any other storage. Okay, so our IoT hub is accessed publicly. So all the endpoints which are inbound as well as outbound for our IoT hub are public endpoints. So that's the reason the sensors and the devices are able to identify and discover our Azure IoT hub and send messages to it. So as you can see, this input arrows, all the ingress, it's all connecting to a public endpoint, and they are sending the messages into IoT hub. And even the output, it's all public endpoint which is accessible to other services, and we are digesting the message and sending it to either blob storage or any other services. So there are options to configure this as a private endpoint also. We will look at it in a later session. So coming to Azure IoT Hub creation, you will have 4 tabs, in which this is the first tab, Basics. In the Basic, you'll have to select the subscription, resource group, region, and name. And one limitation is that the name should be globally unique. If I say globally unique, if a person in another country has created an IoT hub with some name, IoT hub 01, then we will not be able to create a different IoT hub with the same name. So let us switch to Azure portal at this step and see how it looks. So after getting your free access, you will be able to log into your Azure portal, and it will be showing you a recommendation screen like this. Just close this. If you haven't seen my previous videos, prerequisite, please go ahead and see the prerequisite video. There I have given steps on how to create a free subscription Microsoft Azure account for 30 days, and after that also most of the services you will be getting it for free, and a pay as you go subscription is enabled, so that if you are consuming more than the free quota, it will go into pay as you go. Okay, so this will be our interface, Azure portal. So you should come here. So the basics of this interface are on the left side. You will find a menu where you can see the dashboard, services, resource groups, and everything. And here is our overall dashboard where we can see subscriptions, resource group, all resources, and a few of the Azure services like virtual machine, app service, storage. So we will need Azure IoT Hub. So we will go here and select type for IoT to search for it. So here you can see, we see IoT Hub. Select this IoT Hub. So here you need to click add. Here you can see the subscription is currently under free trial. Okay, so if you are having a pay as you grow subscription, you'll have that here. If it is a free trial, you'll have free trial. If you have multiple subscriptions, you'll get a list of subscriptions here. So based on the subscription, your billing will be charged to that particular subscription. So make sure that you are selecting the right subscription when you are doing it in other environments. So for now, you can select free trial if you are using free trial, and then you need to create a resource group or select any existing resource group. So since I don't have any existing resource group, I will just say create new. I will just say uh, I'll just say RTT Ravi Tech Talks, AZ220, IoT Hub 01 resource group. Okay. And coming to the region, this is the region where you want the resources to be placed. That is the data centers and all. So when coming to regions, please select the region which will be nearer to the industry or nearer to your customers or your company or work location. Because if let us say I'm in India and if I am selecting East US or UK or something like that, uh, the resource will get created, but the thing is like the latency, the performance of the resource will not be at high. It will be impacted because I'm in one region, the device is in India, but I'm selecting an IoT hub which is in East US. So the device need to communicate from India to East US data center, right? So that's the reason you need to select any region which is near to you. So I'm selecting South India and the IoT hub name. So as I said, the IoT hub name need to be globally unique. So I'll be giving again RTT AZ 220 IoT 01. Let's see if it exists. Yeah. So we got it. So next will be networking. So let me switch back to the presentation at this point in time. Now let us talk about networking. So networking helps us in controlling access to our IoT hub. As I said initially, by default, IoT hub has a public endpoint, so it is discoverable publicly over the internet. But we can create private endpoints and restrict the access to our IoT hub for security purposes. So that sort of control can be done from this networking tab. So if you see, as I have shown this image previously, we have a public endpoint and then our IoT hub. So in cases where we want to secure our IoT hub behind a firewall with a private endpoint, we will be having only the private endpoint for our IoT hub. And if any device or sensor want to connect with our IoT hub and communicate with our IoT hub, it uses a VPN. Okay, like this. It will connect to a virtual private network, and that virtual private network will be configured with our private endpoint of the IoT hub. Okay, so our IoT hub, when we are creating, we will create it with a private endpoint, and that private endpoint will be in a virtual network, and our sensor and devices will connect using either an express route or a VPN and connect to our virtual network and talk to our private endpoint. So in this scenario, our IoT hub will not be discoverable on any public network. And coming to the networking tab, we will have these four configuration options. One is by default the public endpoint. So our device, our IoT hub will be discoverable over any public network. Okay. Next, we will have IP range. So here it is discoverable over the public network, but we can specify an IP range of public IPs which we can accept as well as reject. So we can create rules of ranges that I will be showing you. And we will have IP filtering, that is again creating those rules of what IP ranges we want to accept or reject. And then the last option is private endpoint configuration. So we can create our IoT hub with private endpoint. So it will not be accessible through public internet. So if any sensor or device want to connect with our IoT hub, it need to use an express route or a VPN and connect to our private endpoint. Okay, so let us just go back to the Azure portal and see how we can do it. So as I was mentioning, here we are having that public endpoint, which is like it will be accessible from all networks. Then we have private endpoint. Okay, So I believe since I am in all networks will have access to IoT Hub. Okay, I believe since I am in a free subscription or something, I am not able to see the other two options, that is restricting the IP range as well as IP filtering. And the next option is private endpoint. So here you need to add your private endpoint IP address. Okay. So here you need to create your name of the private endpoint virtual network and private DNS zone. You need to mention it here and configure it here. Okay, then your IoT hub uh, will be a private will be configured for a private endpoint. Okay, so for now we will go with the public endpoint only, and next we will go to management. Okay, let me just switch to the presentation. Okay, the next tab is size and scale. So in the size and scale, we have the options where we can select multiple tires, multiple editions. So currently we have multiple tires in the sense uh, whether you want to select the S1 plan or S2 plan or anything like that. So we have multiple editions. So we have free edition, basic and standard, and inside these editions there are tires. For basic there is B1, B2, B3, standard S1, S2, S3, like that. So based on the user scenario, like a number of devices and number of messages per day, we need to select those tires and editions. So we will discuss this in a different video on how do we calculate which tire or which edition we should be taking. We will look it in a later video, like how do we calculate scientifically like which tire we should be selecting based on number of devices and number of messages we are going to receive per day. Okay, and then we have quotas, that is IoT hub units. So again, if you are saying you are selecting B1 or S1 tire, so inside that tire how many units you want to have. IoT hub security, so we can even enable security options like using Azure IoT Defender. So we will be seeing that. Let me switch back to our Azure portal. Okay, so as I said, these are the tires S1, S2, S3, B1, B2, B3. So by default we get standard tire. Okay, so in the standard tire you can see we are having by default 1 unit. If you want to increase the number of units, you can increase it here. We will come back in a different video how to calculate the number of units we need to select. So here is the Azure Security Defender for IoT. So you can turn it off or on. So if you are oning it, there is a certain charge, an IMR per device per month. So this is really a lot of basic charge. And here if you are selecting a different tire, see here in S1 per day you are getting 4 lakh messages. Okay, and the cost per month is 1801. Okay, if you are saying S2, here you are getting per day 6 lakh messages, sorry, 60 lakh messages, and the cost per month is 18,000. Okay, so if you go to B1, 720. Okay, and 4 lakh messages per day. And there are, as I said, there are a lot of feature differences here. In B1 you can see that you don't get Defender for IoT, it is disabled. Okay, and the device to cloud messaging is enabled, message routing is enabled, but cloud to device commands is only available is disabled, it's not available, it's only available in free and standard. IoT edge capabilities are also only available in free and standard. Device management is also only available in free and standard. So if you go to standard, here you see that everything is enabled for you. If you go to free, here also you can see that everything is enabled for you apart from the Defender part. Okay, and in free tire you'll get 8,000 messages per day. Okay, so that's and in a particular subscription I have selected a free subscription. In a single subscription you can have only one IoT hub which is in free tire. So if I am creating an IoT hub in free tire, if someone else comes in or if myself create a different IoT hub in the same free tire, it will not allow, saying that your quota of free tire is already done. There is already an IoT hub with a free tire. So if you want to create a different one, either use the existing free tier one or delete it and again create with the free tier. So only one IoT hub you can create it with the free tier. So the main intention of the free tier is for POCs and trying out scenarios, and less for productionization. Okay. So for productionizing, based on the requirement, you need to either go for a basic tier or a standard tier. Okay. Only for trying out and POCs, you can go for free tier. And another limitation here is, if you are selecting an IoT hub in free tier and doing a POC, and after doing a POC, you want to um, take it into your development, staging, and production like that, right? So when you are moving from POC to development or production, so you feel like you should be change, then the number of devices will grow and the number of messages per day will grow. Then you want to shift from free tier to basic or standard. So that will not, Azure portal by default, it doesn't allow that scale up to different tiers. Okay. So keep that in mind. If you want to, from free tier, you cannot change to basic or standard or anything like that. But if you created something with B1 and tomorrow you are getting more number of devices, more number of messages, and you want some features which are there in standard, so then you can scale up to S1. From B1, you can change to S1. But from free tier, you cannot change to any other tier. So that's another limitation. Okay. And if you go to advanced settings, here you can see scale. So this is this scale. You can see device to cloud partition. So by default, you are getting two partitions, right? So this device to cloud partitioning is nothing but the more number of partitions you have, the more number of parallelism you can get. Okay. So if there are two partitions, you can have a difference when you are reading data from Azure IoT Hub. You can have a parallel program which can run two parallel threads to read from it, so that it will increase your performance. So if you want to increase the number of parallelism, you need to increase the number here. So by default, I will leave it as 2. Okay. Now let us go to tags. Just let me switch back to the presentation. So these tags, you might be thinking there are something like Azure IoT Hub device tags. So these are not that tags. These are Azure resource tags. These are mainly to identify the resources based on the tag, whether they belong to any particular environment or a customer or a department, like that. I'll be showing you a demo and we can see few of the scenarios. Okay, just let me switch back to the portal. So here I can say that the environment is dev. Okay, I can say that the customer for this is something like Google or Microsoft, like that. So based on these tags, you can query for the resources at the resource group level. So these are not the device tags. So we will talk about the device tags at a later point in time. Okay. For now, I'm clearing the tags. Next, we have review and create. So in the review and create, whatever the 4 steps, the 4 tabs we followed, basic networking management and tags, you can review all those sections. So here you can see the subscription is free trial, resource group is this, region is South India, IoT hub name is this one, and connectivity we have chosen public endpoint, and pricing tier we have gone for B1. Oh no, let me go back and switch it to free, because I don't want to spend much on this, because we have a very limited amount of credit which we will be needing for later sessions. Okay, we have created with F1, and number of IoT hub units is 1. So number of messages per day is 8,000, and device to cloud partitions is 2. So cost per month is 0. So I won't be charged anything. So Defender for IoT is by default disabled in free tier. It is only enabled in standard tiers. Okay. So now you can click on create. It will take some time to create your Azure IoT hub. Once the resource is completed, you will get a notification that the deployment succeeded, and you will be having a notification here as well. Just click go to resource. So this is the our IoT hub is created. So as you can see, we have IoT devices, edge, so all the management portal, security things, everything is here. So that's it for now, guys. So if you have any doubts or if you have anything, please do comment below in the video. I will address those, and I will get in touch with you. Okay, so we will look at in depth of this Azure IoT Hub in our next video. Have a nice day.